Welcome back to IEM Secrets something something clickbait title mixing for high profile artists. In the first video I talked about parallel compression on input strips, doubling up input strips, sending them off to ear monitors to provide that extra little support and closeness that a singer would require. In this video I'm going to talk about using a technique that front of house engineers use all the time, recording engineers use all the time, but why can't we as in-ear monitor mixers use it? If you look at my console file, I have vocal plate and vocal room. Let me tell you how this came about. Vocal room is something I added in later. So in my first video, I talked about getting a singer back to wearing two ear monitors after a decade of wearing one ear monitor and just going with wedges. What he felt was that he was kind of isolated and he didn't really feel the resonance of his voice. What I discovered early on in my in-ear mixing career was that early reflection of reverbs is very important. When people talk about singing in the bathroom or in the shower, it's having that reflection come back to them very quickly off the wall of the bathroom, of the shower, or whatever room they're in. That lets them hear themselves quickly and make sure their pitch is correct, as opposed to the big washy thing. Now, I've heard other people's mixes, and I've heard the vocal here, and I've heard the reverb out here. But there's nothing in here. There's this big space that needs to be filled. That's where early reflection comes in. In this case, I was fortunate enough to be able to use two Bricasti M7s. If you're fortunate enough to have two Bricastis that you can devote to this, then good on you. What I did was actually pulled up London plate for the plate verb, and I found another smaller verb, and it ended up being Studio B close. Now, if you don't have Bricastis, you may be able to find those impulse responses somewhere on the net. But here's my technique with this. The Hall gave him the big sound. The Studio B close gave him the small little resonance that he needed, where it came in to be really handy. We would play theaters, we would play outdoors, we would play arenas. Now, considering that I had 150 something inputs, there's a lot of open mics on stage, a lot of orchestra mics, percussion, drums, all kinds of things like that. So you can imagine how much noise was coming in on the arena shows and how dead it was on the outdoor shows, or some of these theaters are really, really acoustically treated and very dead. I had the option to be able to keep the Studio B close, his small room verb, no matter what. So he always had that resonance, but I could adjust the level of the big plate verb. If I was outdoors, big and proud. If I was in dead theaters, big and proud, or slightly reduced for a lot of other theaters. If we're in arenas, plate verb goes away. Now, if you don't have that small room verb, your singer just lost all their resonance. If you just have a dry vocal because it's too washy because of the room, where'd all that support go? You're stuck. Keeping this small room doesn't get messy. It is a small verb that resonates back to them, and the arena is just a wash outside. So if you have two reverbs that you can devote to your singer and multiple input strips you can devote to them, give this technique a shot. Techniques, tips, tricks, secrets, whatever. I'm telling you about this. Give it a shot. And again, leave a comment down below and tell me how it went for you. Until next time.